Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Venus and I are about to go grab a bite to eat. I thought I would do a quick live. I didn't get to last week, so had a great one come up, a great topic on wire transfers. My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm with Lancaster Law Firm. We do real estate closings. We have 3 offices, Hendersonville, Canton, and Asheville. Great team of great people to work with. If you haven't worked with us before, check us out. We can do closings in less than 4 weeks, really, whenever you want us to. Looking to work with some great people in 2022. I'll do a live about that next week. Some cool things we have coming for the upcoming year. But tonight I'm going to talk about wire transfers. You'll see a lot of attorneys, probably most that you work with, require that funds come in for a purchase transaction by wire transfer. That's because we have to have good funds. That's a legal term, good funds. Cleared into the account, no one can cancel or bring it back before we can close under state law. Now there are, of course, some attorneys that will take whatever to get it closed. I'm not one of them. We need that money to close up front, or to clear up front. Mostly this is not a problem. Checks are deposited with earnest money, plenty of time to clear, and then the rest of it comes by wire. What I really want to talk about is outgoing wires. So when you guys need us to wire a payoff, wire proceeds to a seller, whatever else you might need us to wire, commissions. We have some realtors ask us to wire commissions for them. All doable. Here's some things I want to tell you about that. I would say at least half of real estate offices, real estate attorney offices out there have stopped sending wires. They'll, of course, take them all day. They'd love to get the money by wire transfer. Sending them is a lot of liability on the attorney and not much benefit. You know, we're helping accommodate someone getting their money faster and it clearing into their account immediately, all of that stuff we require on the purchase side coming into us. So why is it fair that some of them out there wouldn't also agree to send it back out by wire transfer? Well, we do. I'll start with that. We do send things out by wire transfer, but some attorneys don't. And the reason is it takes time. We have to go in there, just like your bank does, initiate a wire. For those smart law firms that have 2 people must look at it before it can send, like we do. One person looks at it, sets it up. One of us, the attorneys, approves it, sends it off. Okay. There's time. Our bank charges us to wire those monies. Okay. There's a charge for that. And there's, of course, liability. What if it goes to a scammer? What if we type in the wrong account number or the wrong name or whatever? There's a lot of it's $500,000. That's a lot of liability, guys. I know we like to sort of shrug off what the attorneys do, but none of you guys are holding $500,000 or $1 million for someone, okay? And none of them. So a lot of attorneys' offices have said, nope, never mind, we're not sending them anymore. We will cut a check and you're welcome. That's really all the attorneys are obligated to do also, guys. A wire transfer is an accommodation, just like FedExing that check would be or couriering it across town for you. All we legally have to do is make it available. That means you picking it up. Now, most attorneys will agree to mail it or FedEx it or courier it in certain circumstances, and about half of them will agree to wire it, I would say. But that is why, those are some reasons why you're seeing them sort of stop that. Now, another reason they've stopped sending wires is because most often it's for proceeds for a seller who isn't their client. So that's another, now I'm taking on this liability and all of that for someone who's not even my client anyways. No offense, but I don't really care if they get the money faster. I don't care if it clears into their account faster. But I'm taking on that liability to accommodate them. Again, we do it, and some other attorneys do it, but that's another reason you'll see lawyers stop doing that, and I get it, frankly. And I'll give you an example. Recently, we closed a transaction right before the holiday. We said, hey, everyone, we will be closed on the 22nd. We will be closed on the 22nd. Hey, everyone, it's in every one of our emails. We're warning them. We got to close this on the 21st. Or folks might not be able to get their money because, remember, we're closed on the 22nd. Seller wanted a wire transfer. That's a lot faster. Seller's not my client. Unfortunately, the seller delayed our closing by not signing a settlement statement on time. And we were able to submit the recording for Wednesday morning, the 22nd, so that everyone could get recorded and poor people can move in, my clients can move in. But anything else that has to be done as an accommodation for anyone, sorry guys, we're closed on the 22nd until January 3rd. And they could have gotten that seller CD signed and come and picked up a check, or if they'd gotten it signed, I would have gotten the wire out the same day. But in any event, they could have chosen to come pick up a check and would have gotten their money had the sellers acted a little faster. But that didn't happen. And then, of course, they were upset that they didn't get their wire transfer the next day. That's an accommodation. My responsibility is to make it available. And I was happy to accommodate them, but we were closed for the holidays. So sort of a perfect storm there. But something to think about when you're having wire transfers is it's not like it's easier and faster for the attorney. It's easier and faster for all of you. It's actually harder and slower for us. We would much rather use our computer to cut a check and hand it to the staff up front and go on to the next file. There's a lot less liability with a check. There's a paper trail. We do have something called positive pay where we get to look at the checks, and if it's not one we've marked as safe and appropriate, we get a chance to look at it and stop it. So wires, once they're gone, they're gone. You can't recall them. You can't cancel them. All you can do is if you think you get scammed, you call the FBI and hope for the best. Luckily, I haven't had to do that yet. Some attorneys have. But that's another reason we're not going to rush to do it, guys. Sometimes you get that money back. Sometimes you don't. Okay, and guess who's on the line for it? Whoever gave us those bad wire instructions, or us if we messed it up. And so we have to be very careful with that, okay? Keep that in mind with wire transfers. I'll say this, we require, if you want us to wire proceeds from your sellers, we will have to have signed and notarized wire instructions where they've handwritten them out. Not a check stapled to them saying, see check, signed and notarized. No, they have to follow the instructions. Signed and notarized wire instructions. That way our wire fraud insurance will cover us should there be an issue, okay? Otherwise, it's not worth it for us to accommodate it's a nice thing to do, right? But it's such a huge liability on our part. So we do have folks jump through those hoops on wire transfers. Keep all that in mind. I hope that sort of helps with how to think about wire transfers. Certain law firms cut off their wire transfers at certain parts of the day. We can typically get it done all the way up until 5:30. Our bank cuts them off at 5:30. But we do our best on that. I've seen some law firms just call it 2 p.m. You know, anything you ask for at 2 p.m. will be wired the next day, and I understand why they do that. Anyway, post and comment in the comments below on any wire issues you've had. Let's talk about it. Invite people to the group that you think would benefit the group with their own wisdom, but also benefit from the group, maybe learn with us. Happy New Year, guys. Go into 2022 being nice and kind to each other. Let's get rid of this negativity that is just so prevalent right now. Don't participate in it. You know that's the first step in us getting rid of it, okay? Be positive, uplift each other. Do not, if you catch yourself being negative, just stop, okay? Go do something nice for someone else if it needs to be. Happy New Year. Stay safe out there. It's going to be kind of crazy tonight. It's warm. It's a weekend. People are going to be crazy. So be safe, be kind to each other, and of course, stay healthy. Have a good New Year, guys. Thanks again for tuning in.